How's my hair look? What's up, everybody? We are live from the Captive Creative headquarters. As you can see, we have a nice space, very tech centric. And I have with me today a very special guest. Usually, other people are the guests, so he's usually not in this spot. But I have Justin Bowers today.
Yo,
And
yo.
what we really want to do is just learn more about who Justin Bowers is, the man that sits next to me, and really what gets him inspired, and why does he take his time and his energy out almost on a daily basis to build what we're really building here at Captive. So I'm super excited about this conversation because not only is Justin one of my lifelong friends, but he's also my business partner. And I don't think a lot of people know, Justin Bowers the way I do, and one of the most interesting people that I know in the world.
Thank you.
And I really think that y'all will enjoy this conversation that we're going to have. I'm sure Justin has a lot of stories, a lot of entertaining stories that I really respect and admire, what he's done to get to the point that he is today.
I am blushing. Thank you, Khary. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that kind of intro, to be honest.
Well, honestly, it's the only intro I can really think of having, and I couldn't think of a better way to start off some of these live video feeds that we're doing than have Justin. One of the main reasons why we're even sitting here today. With that being said, I want to dive in, just ask more about Justin, really get to know him. Like I said, the person who's sitting next to me, I always find it interesting about this guy is his childhood and his upbringing. So yeah, tell me something about your childhood. Like, what were you like as a kid? Were you always a leader? Like, tell us more.
I guess for myself as a kid, well, first, if you have questions, I'd love to know. Ask them in the chat, and we'll definitely answer them. But as a child, I wouldn't consider myself necessarily a leader. I was always very curious. I loved making little contraptions like Mousetrap. I loved that game, right? Just because I love the ability to, like, something happens over here and something else happens. But I grew up all over the place. I went to 9 different schools. My mom did oil and gas title work. So as a single mom, we moved from house to house
You
to
were a
house.
single mom?
No, she was a single mom.
Okay. Okay.
She was a single mom. And when the job was over, we went to the next town where she got the next oil title job. Mm-hmm. So that kind of allowed me to, like, get to meet all types of people, because every year I had to learn how to make new friends. I had to just, like, fit in really quickly as a kid. So that was, I guess, that kind of helped me be a bit of a chameleon that I am today. But no, I wouldn't really say I was a leader as a kid. I always loved creativity. I loved drawing. Like, I love painting. I don't really think I picked up a camera very much, but as a kid, our favorite family time was movies. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I actually forgot to introduce one person or somebody, and it's Beppo.
Oh yeah, Beppo. Here we go.
Oh, I didn't want to just
No.
sleep.
It's okay. It's
he was
okay.
chilling.
He's good. He's good. He needed to wake up a little bit.
Yeah, this is actually our security dog here at the studio. So beware. Don't try anything. But yeah, man. How about, were you athletic? Did you play sports? Like, how was that? I told you.
See, he's gonna let us know.
I told you, watch out.
Let us know. I played some sports. I tried to do all the sports, really, from, like, action sports, skateboard stuff, to soccer, baseball, football. I went to a private school for a little bit, and the team was not very good, so I got to play varsity on my sophomore year of high school. Varsity football, varsity soccer, varsity baseball, all in the same year. It was pretty fun. So I got to play all the sports.
Yeah.
And then my main sport was skateboarding. And that kind of stemmed into other adventures in my life later.
Yeah, skateboarding. Tell me about that. Were you like a skater kid? Did you
Yeah.
wear the DCs?
I had the long hair, the hat.
Right above your eyebrow?
No, it was right in front of my eyes.
Oh, man. You were hardcore with it.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah. I was definitely the skater, surfer kid, for sure. But I loved longboarding. I loved skateboarding. I loved rollerblading. That was so much fun as a kid. And then that kind of stemmed into me starting a skateboard company. And then that stemmed into like a much bigger thing than just a skateboard company later in life.
Yeah, because I was going to say that's probably a great segue because, when I first met you, I think we actually met through a mutual friend. Shout out to Dylan Dement. I used to play men's soccer on the men's soccer team. And after one of the practices, he said, let's go over to my buddy's Justin's house. I'm like, sure, let's go. And that's where I went over to this guy named Justin's house, and we just started nerding out about different like drones and programming drones. I was a software
360
developer,
photography,
360 photographer, and things like that. But I walked around and I saw direction everywhere, and I was like, oh, what's this direction?
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear more about direction and what that was in your life.
Well, when I was younger, I really wanted to be a pro athlete. I like skateboarder. I always dreamed about being like surfboarder, like a snowboarder. It was kind of like my dream, like that I never thought I could actually achieve. But then I was like, well, I could actually be involved in these like for the rest of my life if I was to like make it my career. So I started with skateboards and I started manufacturing them and found all the distribution companies to like buy the supplies for the clothings, the hats, the t-shirts, the screen printing, all the materials, and like started hustling them in high school.
Yeah.
I was like 17, 18, all the way to like 24, 23 years old, and sold thousands of t-shirts, probably thousands of skateboards, not very many surfboards.
Yeah.
But I did try to get into some other action sports as I started phasing out like later in life. But that's a different story. So
yeah, you always tell me a story of how you used to have the stickers and you used to just tag them everywhere.
Oh man, I was a sticker bomber.
Yeah.
I got really good in high school, where I could have a whole stack of stickers in my pocket, and I would wear a hoodie, and with one hand I could like pull the stickers off, like the back of the sticker off, and have it ready so I could just like whoop,
yeah.
whoop,
Yeah,
whoop,
you're a machine.
I was stacking them, sticking them everywhere.
Yeah.
I got in the school newspaper. It was like a whole thing. I got called in the police, not police. The principal's office. I got called in the principal's office. They were like, "Why are we seeing all your stickers all over the place?" And I was like, "I just give them to people, and they stick them all over the place."
Blame it on them. Right?
I did.
Yeah.
And I also brought him a T-shirt and stickers to his office, knowing that he was a double XL, and he liked like brighter color shirts. I brought him a brighter double XL shirt with the stickers, and then we befriended ourselves because he was a drummer and I was a drummer.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Okay, tell people to stop sticking stickers, bro."
Yeah.
And then sent me on my way.
Yeah, you got to know, how to make people happy. So that's good.
I got out of trouble for sure for vandalizing the school with stickers. Yeah.
What would you say is the craziest story during that time of your life? I know you told me a story how you traveled across the U.S. Trying to sell your merch.
Yeah, me and a good buddy, Rob Show.
His name was Rob Show?
His name's Rob Show.
Pretty cool name.
Yeah. And he and I were working on this direction project, and we had made our biggest purchase yet of hats, T-shirts, stickers, and we wanted to go up the East Coast and all the way down the West Coast and sell our product to different surf shops, skate shops across the country. And we did the entire country.
Yeah.
How'd
y'all get around?
We drove in my Scion TC.
Shout out to the Scion.
Scion TC. It was black. It had my logo across the side of it. I had a big sticker on either side.
Yeah.
Like you could not miss it.
Now, did you do that or did you blame it on some?
No, I definitely put it on there.
Yeah,
I definitely stuck it on there. I wanted everybody to know what direction was.
Yeah.
But we were driving across country. We'd stop from location to location to location and try to sell. We had a lot of no's. I mean, a lot of no's.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got up all the way to the East Coast, or all the way to like New York area, and we decided we wanted to go to the X Games because it was going to be around the same time. So we had a very short window where we could get our tickets that I think we could afford maybe. But there was some reason why we needed to get there at that time, so we could get to the event. And so Rob and I, we basically went from one end of the country to the other within 2 days.
Wow.
Non-stop.
Wow.
We did not break the speed limit very often.
Yeah.
And you know, it was just a lot of like switching back and forth without stopping.
Yeah.
Basically just kind of starving ourselves at the same time.
Yeah.
Just to kind of make it there.
Yeah.
So.
Were y'all like switching in the car while y'all driving?
Yeah. I'd be like, "Hey, you ready to sleep?" I'd grab the steering wheel and he'd go climb in the back seat, and then he'd grab the steering wheel and then I'd let it go and I'd go climbing in seat. And boom.
Yeah. Drive safe, y'all. Drive safe.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
What was the biggest lesson or even maybe craziest story that from that time in your life?
It was that whole thing was a pretty pinnacle moment because as soon as I got to LA, I went to the X Games and my entire car got jacked. Everything.
Like the car got like Grand Theft Auto?
Everything inside my car got jacked.
Yeah.
Like all of my equipment, I had documented the whole project. I had I had thousands of dollars of merchandise in the car. I cried. I remember bawling like, I can't believe this happened.
Yeah.
But honestly, that was a kind of a pinnacle moment, and because I was like I kept taking this money and putting $5,000, $10,000 that I made from this last batch of stuff, and then buying the new batch, and then kind of taking some money on top, for me to live, right, and then doing it again, and then do it again, and then doing it again, and I was like, I can't keep living this cycle, and by that robbery happening, it told me I was like, I'm not gonna go reinvest new dollars. I'm not gonna start from scratch. I did get some insurance money that gave me some funds, but I took that money and I bought cameras.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm gonna buy me a GoPro. I'm gonna buy some other things. I'm gonna buy assets that I cannot buy a product. I have a service. So instead of going to buy the product that I sell it to you, and then I have to go buy it again to go sell it to the next person, I was like, well, I need something that's rinse and repeatable. And if I have to buy a camera, I can sell you the footage that I have, and then you can come back to me again, and I can sell you more footage of you again. And I was like, this is a gold mine. I want to make this happen. So I hit up my cousins.
Yeah. So I guess what skills did you learn to make that transition? I know you just said it's like, all right, video. That's what I'm start doing. What was that transition?
All my athletes, I sponsored like 20 different athletes.
Okay, so you sponsored athletes.
I sponsored athletes to get their skateboards, to get their products, to get the merchandise that they wanted to be sponsored with.
Yeah.
They had to make me videos.
Okay.
And they had to publish them on YouTube. And we had to they had to make things. So they had to prove to me that if I gave you that skateboard, you're going to go make a video for me.
Yeah.
And so I had sponsored some kids and some young guys, and I gave them boards. I was like 21.
Okay, nice.
And maybe 20. And I had basically, I was like, guys, look, I'm going to go make a video of me skateboarding, longboarding, something along that. And this is 2011. And so this is kind of like me phasing out at the very end. I'm like really starting to push the video stuff to get promotions and advertising for my company, for the Direction Boards company. And so I was like, look guys, if I can make a cool video of me skateboarding, you are better than me. And you should make a better video than me.
Yeah, they're better at you than skateboarding.
Yeah, no, they're definitely. That's why I picked them.
In videoing.
They should be better at both, to be honest, right? Because they had unlimited time.
Yeah.
They were like, we all have these devices and stuff. Like we all had GoPros, and the shop even had stuff the kids could use and whatnot. But anyways, So some kids they were giving me this excuse. And I was like, look, I'm going to go out. I'm going to ask my cousin to film me.
Yeah.
And that video ended up getting like 1 million views on YouTube.
Wow. What year was this?
It was like 2011.
Okay.
So if you YouTube right now, GoPro longboarding tricks, I'm typically top 2. Sometimes 1, 2, or 3 on YouTube. So that right there got me some inquiries about making somebody's other videos.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were just a natural at it, or it just made sense
no,
to you?
I actually didn't even make the video.
Yeah, okay.
My cousin did, Sam. I just asked him to video me, and then we would just mash it together on our computer and use the fun song and did some stuff. Maybe I did edit it. But I think he helped, but we were just like, we were just playing around,
Yeah.
you know. I was like, he was trying to just help me make videos for direction boards, you know. We weren't doing anything for like trying to make any money off of it. I was like, maybe I'll get a skateboard or maybe a wheel sponsor or something, right? Because if I could prove that I got a sponsor for making a video, then it would and show to my like athletes,
Yeah,
hey,
it's
look,
possible.
it's possible. I did get a video spot. I did get a sponsor.
Nice. Was it for direction?
For wheels? No, for
wheels.
wheel. They wanted like, hey, we'll give you some wheels.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, it was something. But like, hey, again. So I at that point I had like I was kind of phasing out, and that's before my whole trip to New York and LA.
Got you. Now you said you got some inquiries based on the skateboard video that you made or longboard video that you made. What were those inquiries? What did they look like?
So I was I worked for Billabong. I was the director of their surf camp.
Billabong?
Billabong is a surf brand.
Brand.
They have like clothing.
I think
apparels.
I've seen board shorts.
Board shorts, T-shirts, a bunch of stuff, hats and whatnot. But they had a surf camp in Galveston, and I was the director of that. And the owner of that specific camp, who hosted it at the spot and had the brick and mortar location, saw my video and was like, "Hey, can you make me videos for my event coordinating company?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can for sure. It's just it's like YouTube, you know." And he's like, "Sure, let's do it. You're hired. When can you start?" And like this was like the last day of the summer, and I actually didn't know what I was gonna do for the rest of the year, like because the season was done. There was no more students for us to have, so I actually didn't know what I was gonna do. So it was like perfect timing. Mike Dean is his name. He came down to the beach. He puts on Mardi Gras Galveston, Shirley Quest Beer Fest, Shrimp Festival, Wine Festival, and then that's when.
So this is on the island.
Yeah, this is on Galveston Island.
Nice.
And so this is when it came. My event coordinating career began.
Started. Nice. Event coordinating with a little bit of video production.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. What was that experience like?
That was a long journey. That man taught me so much, how to like operate your business, how to think independently. When I first started, I would like ask him questions, and he told me basically, I want you to, fail. Like if you're not going to cost the company a bunch of money, then just learn from your mistake. If you're going to cost the company money, like talk to me about it, and then that way you don't make the wrong mistake. And you'll be able to make those adjustments and changes better and faster and faster. Being organized, being consistent, those are all great things. He owns a bunch of restaurants, event coordinating company, and a bunch of other businesses. So juggling all those different businesses, I was like always just like fascinated by. I was like, man, this guy's got so many different organizations. So I think that's half the reason why I have a lot of businesses today. Because if you're gonna make $1 million, you got to have a bunch of different things making you some money.
So it sounds like even before that, you were already picking your head in leadership, especially with the sponsoring athletes for your company. But would you say that what kind of lessons did that teach you as far as being a leader?
Just getting the for the surf lessons or for the camp
for the event coordination and just the job.
For the event coordinating stuff. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I had to bring on different crew members, so bartenders, and hire different staff for certain things and roles, ticket people. So it helped me, learn how to just be organized, work on spreadsheets and document how much we're going to pay somebody, how long they're going to be working, making sure that they got all the documentation for them to get hired on what's the process, the protocols and things like that, and having to do it over and over and over and over. And then, I don't know, just like.
Did you have to fire anybody?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
You don't have to tell maybe you can tell the story, but you don't have to tell the person.
So since he owned the surf shop, the surf company, like the camp, one time, we had a huge camp going on, and I had checked all the kids in, and this is like during the summer, so I had been doing a whole year of event coordinating, and I went back to the summer camp, and one of our surf camp leaders left his campers with somebody else. But he came to smoke a cigarette. And I was like, bro, you can't do that. You got to go back. And he immediately left. But like, it was 2 seconds too late.
Yeah.
And my boss saw it, and he was like, "Yeah, he's got to go right now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "He's got to go right now," and I was like, "Yeah, it's got to go right now." And I was like, "Oh man, it's gonna look like I'm firing because I snitched on him because he didn't see it." But I was like, "Hey, this is the deal." Like,
Yeah.
So that was the first time I ever fired somebody.
Yeah.
And that was really hard because we go out for burritos and stuff, and he didn't want to go get burritos anymore.
I bet you he didn't. So, but yeah, man, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely seemed like a lot of lessons learned, a lot of building of the leader that you kind of are today. So that's always great to hear. And like I said, I know this guy for a long time, and I heard a lot of these stories. So it's I always love hearing them again. Now I know the story goes that you were doing so well at your job that you were actually offered some equity in the company.
Well,
or something like that. I don't wanna tell
the story
wrong.
kind of fell along. Mike Dean really liked me and gave me an opportunity to be a partner in one of his businesses as an opportunity for me to stay a part of the Yagas family. And it was a really great offer. There was going to be some sweat equity and ownership in the business, and it really just wasn't what I was imagining for my future. Living on the island, I had big dreams. I'm still young. I got big dreams now. I wanted to just be an owner and run my own life, and I know how Mike Dean works, and like he definitely produces. So I wanted to produce for myself. And so one of the last things he said after I told him, "Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for having me this offer. I'm going to go do my own thing." The thing he said was like, "If you want to be successful in life, you need to do sales. Sell whatever you're selling." Like it's like, like doing a massage therapy or video production, right? Be the best sales in that industry and you'll win. So we want to be the best sales and have the best product, and we'll win, right? And so it kind of speaks for itself, and that kind of resonated with me. My whole career is like we have to do the best job possible for our clients, and then also we need to be really good at showcasing and selling our product and providing value. And that just kind of really stuck with me. I mean, he didn't even tell me all those steps, but he said, you need to sell it. But if you can't sell it, if you're going to sell it, you have to give it value. And so that just kind of resonated really, really with me. Like when I started this whole business, I was like, how are we going to give value so we can sell as much as possible?
Yeah. I feel that. So what's next? Like you said you wanted to go do your own thing.
I left.
You left, and
I left.
Did you like sit around and think about what your next move was?
I was flying.
Yeah, or was it like I got it?
I got a immediate inquiry from a friend. Her friend owned an agency that was called Rebranding 360. You actually used to work for them. I got you introduced. And I started doing 360 photography for Google Maps, so Google Street View, but inside of businesses, and that turned into a huge deal. I was traveling all over the country, teaching photographers all over the country, virtually and if in person, how to do virtual tours from small all the way to the large stuff, and that one just kind of like really spun it off because I got thousands of opportunities to pitch more stuff, right? Photo shoots, video shoots. So it's kind of an alley-oop for me, right? All that Rebranding 360, the Google Trusted Photography Company, wanted was the Google virtual tours. And so he was like, you can sell whatever you want. Sell videos, sell social media. And so I was like, okay, great. So 2-3 shoots, so sometimes a day.
That's Beppo. Wants to be heard over here.
Yeah,
our guard
security
dog.
But yeah, and that really kind of kickstarted it. And so by having that steady stream of business, like line of work coming in, then I was able to start focusing on new types of business.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. And like you said, that's kind of where I got introduced and everything. I always tell people the story about how things kind of grew. And even to your point of being able to make sales, we would do these Google virtual tours, and on the Google virtual tours, maybe we would be in a retail location, and Justin would maybe go to one, I would go to another. We had this thing where we couldn't leave that whole retail center until we went to every single location that was attached there, maybe the one across the street. Just let them know about our services. We had some print material. We let them know we just did something for their neighbors. Nobody wants their neighbors to outdo them. I'm here with this equipment.
I just did a photo shoot right next door to you. I can save you some dollars while I'm here right now. If you have to come back, I already have it ready to go. We got a lot of no's.
Yeah,
a lot of no's. I even got shooed out multiple times. I had a few people yell at me.
Yeah.
They're like, I got a no soliciting sign.
Yeah.
But
we got a lot of no's, but I would say the biggest thing, people knew about us now.
Yeah,
people knew that this guy named Khary representing this company that could do this service for me. I have his card. Whenever I do need this service, I can call them. We would get their information a lot of times because they'll have cards. Follow up with them, put them in a CRM, and just try to consistently add value to them.
Yeah.
And one thing, especially when we were doing what we were doing, people needed content, especially these retail locations, show off what their service could be and what it looks like. Yeah,
for sure.
I remember those days.
So streamlining virtual production or virtual panoramics for Google was kind of like the big first step. And then since we were able to have all those businesses that we could keep selling photos and videos to, that's kind of gave us the ability to start bringing on our first employees. Yeah. And have editors can start editing the photos for us and editing the videos, having that initial pipeline. Again, then once we didn't have to do the post-production as much and the editing, then we could start focusing on new parts of the business.
Yeah, so I remember those days. Maybe walk us through how that transition went, like from the Google virtual tours to going into like a real, creative video agency.
Yeah. Well, before we dabbled ourselves in a bunch of weddings, right? So that's how we kind of made a bunch of money initially. Was just doing weddings that were all from like people that I met in Galveston. We landed the Google job, and then as soon as we started mainstreaming that stuff, we were able to then start getting photos, videos from on smaller projects, start building a pipeline of business for ourselves. And then we were at that point we were actively seeking out new types of leads and new generation leads. And so there's like different things that you could hook up to your like Calendly. So a restaurant could hire you to do like 5 dishes of food, or this company can hire you to go take a restaurant or whatever they wanted of their hotels and stuff like that.
Calendly or SmartShoot?
It's SmartShoot, but there was like integrated with it. Yeah. So, but anyways, we were figuring out ways so that we could just like automatically fill our calendars at high volume. We wanted to do tons and tons of photo shoots. They could be $50, but ultimately we wanted to do
any $50 ones.
We did a lot of $50 shoots.
We've even done free ones. So.
Yeah. We started just figuring out a process to be able to like do volumes worth of shoots at small amounts, and from there we were able to land some pretty big clients like Grubhub and Uber Eats. Uber Eats was first because they had just started doing food delivery on the application from, just like the Uber driving around and stuff. And then, so now they'll bring the food to you. So they were building up menus for restaurants, and they found that the restaurants were giving them really terrible photos, and they're like, people are not ordering. So they basically wanted to hire a production team to do the photography at each restaurant so they could have similar standards, have the thumbnails, all the different dimensions and things that they need across the platform. So we figured out how to do that basically per restaurant, and then we formatted all these things, and then we got to we're doing like 6 in a day, doing like 2 to 3 photographers, and again, we just got to also have the layup to be able to offer that restaurant after we're doing the food photography for them for Uber Eats. Then we were able to offer them an upsell, which was more food videos, social media management, and other things like that. So just kept kept building and building. We kept giving more value and more value and more value, where until we landed Grubhub. And that Grubhub one landed us where we did the entire brand in different states. So from, I think, Arizona to North Carolina, we went to pretty much every major city, and for multiple days capturing restaurant dishes. So tens of thousands of dishes labeled and scaled for different sizes and formats for different portions of their platforms. So we figured out a way to like mainstream tens of thousands of images in a very short time for a huge brand, and like, they just kept coming back. They loved it. They were like, all these companies need data, they need media, they need like photographs for everything. So, and we delivered, and we gave it to them extremely organized. So I think that's kind of what helped us propel ourselves, is that we were able to do high volume extremely well and relatively cheap. So,
yeah. Now today we do a lot of volume. We do a lot of bigger projects as well. What do you think was the maybe mindset of going to the smaller $50 shoots to maybe some of the $50,000 and above productions that we do today?
I would say the things that were stopping us in the beginning from doing those 50 to the $100,000 projects was literally skill, lack of knowledge on how lighting and cameras and crew members and what are the resources and why do I need a DP or a director of photography and a director and a first AD, so that way you can like figure out where your time is allocated, right? If you don't even know how to allocate the time or the budget or anything like that, so how are you going to even have those things, and how can you fathom? So we had to grow, right? I had to do that, a bunch of $100 shoots, and then I was like, I'm done selling $100 shoots. So like, I'll just, if you're not interested after my 100, I'm not even gonna talk to you. And so then I got it to a point where it's like, I'm gonna charge $1,000, and then so we charge $1,000 and get really good, but keep providing more value and more value and more value. And then we got to the point where we're charging like $7,000, $10,000 for a video shoot, and they're like, well, how do you evaluate that? I mean, that's what you do now, is like give that value. So it's the tools that you're using, the skills that you learn and acquire over the time, and just better storytelling. All of those things helped us get to the point where we're at now, right? Not even just storytelling, but even like having the evidence of us doing that stuff, because most people are not going to be the first person to invest in you. That comes across the board for like investing in businesses. As soon as you get an investment from one investment, the other investors are like, oh yeah, this is great. This sounds good. Yeah. So like, it's the same thing. Like, that's why so many people want to do these spec ads, right? Because if you can prove that you can do this spec ad and you can make this look incredible, then you can showcase like, hey, look, I made this piece. I want to do this piece XYZ, like this, like that. And they're going to be like, oh yeah, I see that you can do that. I used that literally yesterday. I showed a piece that we did before to our client, and they're like, referencing our video, they're like, yeah, I need to do that. We want to do that shot, but with our character. So they can start seeing themselves in it, and that provides that value.
Absolutely. That makes sense. So we kind of fast tracked on to maybe close to where we are today, the studio, captive headquarters where we're sitting in right now. How did we get here, and why did we even
15,000 square feet of warehouse space and studios?
What made us go on that mission? What made you go on that mission? It's about you.
Well, we started to try to separate ourselves from other production companies, and that just being like normal people that are doing like talking head videos, right? There's like anybody can go get a camera now, spend $10,000 on a tripod. Not anybody, but more likely the ability to go get those pieces of equipment and start doing those things. So we wanted to find tools, resources, and skills that would change it up, from us, from everybody else. Differentiate ourselves from others. And so, we were pitching projects for Academy Sports and Outdoors and some other big brands of ideas. We were trying to cultivate ideas. And so we're coming up with these crazy ideas where we'd either need some robot, we need some big space, we need a lot of power. So the first hurdle we came over was like, we need to be able to do some motion control, some robotics that will separate us first. In the Houston market, there was nobody in Texas at the time that had a robotic camera arm. So let alone.
How about you tell me the story about how you came across the robotic camera arm?
Oh, that you want?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so like that really kind of leads right up into it. It's like we needed to figure out a way to like get ourselves a robotic camera arm. So like I was like, okay, I know this piece of equipment that I need to have to make myself different from everybody else. And so I started just doing lots of research on all the different types of robotic cameras, and I had never operated or knew any brands of it. And so I was like, okay, well, where can I go see one? Like, I just need to look at one now and maybe like
visualize,
like touch it, see what it looks like. And the first place that I looked up is called Houston Mechatronics. It's in Seabrook, Texas. I literally Googled them that morning, and I was like, oh, it's on my way to work. Oh, this is awesome. Like, I don't have to detour. And that's, if you kind of get to know me, I don't really like detouring. I want to go straight to work or straight home. But so it was like on the way to work. So I was like, oh, great. And so I knocked on the front door, and I told the front desk lady that I was interested in about learning more about robotics, and I own a video production company. And was there anybody that I could talk to? So she got a guy named Sean to come talk to me and I guess entertain me for a little bit. And Sean, I guess, liked my stories because he took me around. He's like, this is a UR10. This is a robot. Look at this 12-foot robot. Here's one that goes underwater. Here's this fast Tesla, and other really crazy things that I'm probably not supposed to talk about. But he liked my story, and he said, well, I want to introduce you to our COO. I believe he's the COO. And his name was Jeff. Jeff had a huge desk, and I sat in there. He was kind of a stern man. I was, kind of timid, to be honest. And he was like, what are you doing in front of me? And I was like, well, I'm here to talk about robots, and I own a video production company, and I want to move them really fast. I used a bad word. And so he smiled. And he was like, well, what do you know about robots? And so I told him a little bit about the stuff that I learned. He's like, have you ever operated a robot? I said, no, never, not once. And he basically was like, come with me, dude. Just come with me. And I was like, okay. So I just followed this random dude in the warehouse, and he brought me out to the warehouse and was like, I'll be right back, and point up to a box. He said, I'm going to get that. And so he brought a forklift, picked this box up, set it down, opened it up, and he said, will this do for you?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't even know what I'm looking at, because the robot is all folded up and cables are all over the place. Yeah. And he said, it's a robot. And he was like, why don't you go get your car or your truck? I drove a Scion TC, remember? And I didn't say anything. My clothes stayed where they were, and it was like a cartoon. Out of the scene. I ran the wrong direction around the whole building. It was like 3 times the distance that I should have ran.
You forgot where your car. You forgot what car you had.
I forgot where my car was, and I had to go around. I was making it as fast as possible. I drove around to the other side, and he loaded we opened up the hood, the hatch. He dropped it in. He was like, "All right, well, you have a good one." I was like, "Wait. Do you want my driver's license? Do you want my phone number?"
It's not allowed.
He's like, Sean doesn't have any of that information. I was like, no, sir. I met Sean today.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And I pulled out my driver's license, and he took a picture of it. And I texted. I was like, what's your number? I'll text you.
Yeah.
So you know you have my number.
Yeah.
And I kept that robot for a year and a half.
Yeah.
They asked it. They called me back. They checked in a couple of times. Hey, how's it going? And I was like, it's going great. Here's some videos. Here's some cool stuff that we're doing. And they called me back, and they're like, hey, we need it for a project that's going on in NASA.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so this robot that I'm playing with is gonna go play with some NASA stuff. Probably gonna go to outer space.
Yeah.
But that was super cool.
Yeah. So what was the next step from there?
Well, I figured out how to operate the robots. I had a year and a half of practice. And after about a year, maybe 8 months into it, I realized the limitations of that type of robot.
Yeah.
And just putting it through the case studies of like doing it on shoots, like executing it and not executing it, and just trial and error, and do like 20, 30, 40 shoots with it. I figured out that I needed to have a bigger, stronger robot. I don't know if it's a real word, but I needed to have more residuality. Like, so when it stops, it stopped.
Yeah.
Right. This
On a
camera,
dime.
yeah, it stopped on the dime.
Yeah.
And so, and I needed some like be able to just like control a few more things inside of the robot.
Yeah.
So I found Mark Roberts motion control, and that is a whole nother story on itself.
Yeah.
Getting that robot.
Yeah,
But,
getting it shipped in from the UK.
yeah,
and
getting it shipped in.
some of the first shoots out in Dallas, and with some of the local rappers here in Houston.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah. It's been a journey. So, but after we got into the robotics, after differentiating ourselves from our community, it really blasted the doors open for us. We started landing larger clients because they're looking for specific tools. And once we had those tools, they were like, okay, well, we know you can do this stuff because you have the tool, right? So we kept pushing, and even asking our clients to do new things, right? Outside of the robotics, we're like, well, what can we offer? Can we offer LED walls? Can we offer green screen? Can we offer like just larger?
How can we add more
scale?
value?
Yeah, how can we add more value? How can more production value to tell the story better? And so we eventually, one of our friends left Academy Sports and Outdoors and went to Capital One, and he liked working with us so much, he brought us onto the Capital One project. And so that was a huge, big project for us for like 5 years, 6 years?
It was a good
It was a long time. So basically, we started doing robots, and we kept pitching larger and better projects. And then eventually we got to do LED volume stuff with cars inside of a studio inside of Dallas with a robotic camera arm using Unreal Engine like we do today.
Yeah, nice. And so we really wanted to bring that. How did it get to Houston? How did we bring that?
Well, we had to do it a bunch of times, just like we did with the first robot, right? We had to use it a bunch of times with our clients luckily on this one, we could do it on our client's dime, right? So we got to practice.
Isn't that how it always is?
Not always, right? So, but if you can prove enough times that you can do certain things and you can, you can keep executing, right? That was the big thing. That was like we kept executing for Capital One.
Yeah.
They were okay and ready for the growth with us.
Yeah. I know what you mean. We didn't have to go buy and invest on the equipment ourselves, and we're like, okay, let's test it out. I was like, no, they were like ready to put down the money.
Yeah,
to
already
invest in this, and then that's the learning process.
Exactly.
know?
And we had already people in place that could help us do it. So we were able to learn from people like Camp Lucky, and people over there running their LED walls. Like Tim was huge. I didn't even know how to like an IP address and get computers hooked up together. And now I can do all of that, right? So we just had to go through the process and learn how that works. Get a client, practice. I think we did like 30, maybe 40 days of like in Dallas shooting for Capital One before we even considered even owning our own virtual wall. I'm sure we started thinking about it around 20.
It was day
but
one.
it was too late, right? We had deals signed, so we needed to have those things happening, and it was in Dallas. So
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Absolutely.
It definitely scratched our heads for how could we bring these tools and these things to Houston and bring world-class tools to our space here and differentiate yourselves again from everybody else.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, we're in a world-class office building, on this live. But really, yes, we're here. We've got the LED wall. We got the volume stage. We got the robots. We got the telescopic cranes. We got the, cyclorama, pre-lit cyclorama wall hair and makeup rooms, 15,000 square feet. Now what? How does the day-to-day operations look? How does the day-to-day operations look from when you were doing direction or yagas or even when we're in the small office space in the very beginning?
How many people do we have here now?
Even
in interns and staff.
Yeah,
I don't even know now.
Yeah, it's
changing every day.
It's a lot more for sure. But what
10.
What does that do to your mindset? What does that do to your hustle? Like, what does that do to your
I love being around people. I love working with others. Like, this is like a lot of people think that this industry is like kind of like a solo game, You have these solo videographers doing these things, but I think this is really a team sport, right? You have the directors, the DPs, the producers, your talent, everybody working together, and I just really love that. I think that's probably my favorite part is creating some artwork, but also working with people.
Yeah. Yeah, I always compare, what we do to team sport, and we got to go out, we got to execute at a high level, we got to be able to communicate, and
We got to practice.
we got to practice.
Yeah.
We got to have some type of camaraderie, chemistry between each other to go out, and it's competitive too. You definitely looked at what some of the other companies and people are doing, and one up them and do better. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So, what about the future? What's next? What excites you most about Captive right now?
I think the biggest thing that excites me the most right now is the AI applications that we're integrating with our whole studio. I'm super excited for us to say that we can integrate AI and be able to walk into our space and AI is greeting you, making sure that you're on the schedule, you're able to walk in the building, turn on the lights, turn on the LED wall, move the robot verbally. Like I'm like all those things are like right now, right? Within our AI and system, you can be like in the front door or over at your desk and interacting with our AI and being like, okay, I have this idea that I need to create. Can you help me create it? And it will start doing it as its own ChatGPT inside of our own studio.
Yeah.
Like we want to be able to say, hey, let's create these Unreal Engine environments and being like, hey, I need 12 flags and this XYZ products in there, and it will drop it in there if we have those assets available using AI. So we're living in a really cool spot. We're going to be able to tell stories even better. The power has been given to the people. I think a lot of people are really scared. And I think it's the people at the top that are like shaking and they're like in the boots because they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to make these hundreds of millions of dollars anymore. Like look at this right now. We're in a small space in a corner.
No, we're not.
I mean,
we're in a huge, large office building.
We're tricking you.
We pay $100,000 a month for it.
Yeah. We got this whole area out here. But we're able to do high level stuff in here in space, like in Houston.
Yeah.
That's like half of the cost or a fraction of the cost that it does in LA. And so like from AI to like the ability to have the lighting and all these tools, we're gonna be able to create incredible stuff. And so we're as a storyteller, I'm super excited about the future.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, man. That is exciting. I guess to anybody that's watching right now, just from your own personal experience, and what advice would you give them?
Just keep doing it. Like, I think, I don't know what YouTube or what video or what thing I was listening to, but it stuck with me. While you're resting and you're relaxing and at home doing whatever, scrolling, there's somebody else that's creating something. There's somebody else that's working on their craft. There's somebody else that's getting better at their craft than you. And when I think about that, I'm like, man, I could be using this time right now to doing a little bit more research on how I can do this better robot move or a live stream instead of like just binge watching 16 episodes on a Sunday of Netflix, spend only half that time.
Yeah, I still got to binge.
Yeah, I still got to binge. Like, I'm not saying don't do that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, but like spend half that time and then go do something else that's like bettering yourself or your skill sets or practicing something that you're super excited about, right? Like Unreal Engine, like a couple years ago, I never even thought about like being able to create our own games. Now we're live manipulating metahumans and talking to them in real time. Mm-hmm. Like I never fathomed that, but I only would have done that it would have only happened if I didn't just scratch this itch that I had like a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to like have a virtual environment, right? And I remember even like Sam being like, what are you doing? Yeah. And I was like, I'm trying this thing.
Yeah.
And I remember having the TV there and trying to put like,
oh yeah, I remember that day too.
This whole thing.
Dude, where'd our TV go?
I was like, I'll give it back. I remember I pulled it down off something and I needed it and I had to orient it, but
you had like
a
C4 can or something.
Yeah, it was C4. Yeah, C4 can. And I remember trying to get the background and the camera to parallax together.
Yeah.
And that took me like 2 days and I failed.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't have a motion tracking.
No, we had the motion tracking.
Okay,
device.
gotcha.
We had the robot at that time.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I was trying to get the data to give it through, and so it just I didn't know enough. I didn't know enough. Yeah, I could literally turn on a robot now, and it's like I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I got one last question. At the end of the day, what do you want to be remembered for?
I've told you this one before.
Okay.
I will let me. I want to hear you guess it.
Oh man, guess it. You know, I know you want a microchip processor in the back of your head and get uploaded to the cloud.
Yeah, that would be nice. Hey, I mean, I'll live forever. You
Yeah.
know, like, hey, if you could get my consciousness and put it in the cloud, I don't want to do it now. I want to do it right before I die.
Okay, that makes
Like-
sense. The most
like-
sense.
like
Yeah.
case if something
or you
happens,
can get it
right?
like updated every so often.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for
So.
sure. No, but that's not what I want to be. It's the man that gets.
You want me to fill it in, but I'm gonna fail.
I want to be remembered for the man that gets shit done.
Get shit done.
I get the stuff done. If you want a video and you're like, this is what I want to do, I want to be like, this is how you get it done. And then you're like, okay, I like this. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
And so I'll go build that river,
Yeah.
that stream in our studio, or bring the butterflies, or get that macro shot of that bee, or get that 1,000 frames a second of a droplet, or whatever you're kind of imagining. You know, there's that one time that the client was like, I want to have a kid hit a baseball bat in slow motion.
Yeah.
And so we had to orchestrate all this stuff to make that stuff happen.
Absolutely.
So
Justin Get Shit Done Bowers, CEO,
the man that
captain.
gets stuff done.
And yeah, really, like I said, you've built so much. You know, we all kind of have entered in this world of creativity and production. And yeah, you definitely created a space for not just yourself and your team to create, but I even think people in the community, in the Houston community to
Absolutely.
create. So definitely inspiring to me to work alongside you. And so I'm glad you just took the time to, you know, walk people through that journey and allow them to get to know you a little bit better as I know you.
Yeah,
So,
awesome.
We only
Had
scratched
fun.
the surface of this guy. So, but yeah, man, appreciate it.
More to come.
More to come. More to come. So, all right.